Yeah, when you look at this, and this is something that you also mentioned, David, that the DOJ is very serious about enforcing this disinformation, especially when there is a certain intent that you can prove. Is that something that you think with monitoring, or for example, that the monitoring tools that we build at Shadow Dragon, that is doable by crafting a monitor that you can say, hey, we are able to find these forms of disinformation where we can deliberately point out, hey, there is a form of intent, and then inform maybe the proper authorities with that?
Yeah, I think that so I'm looking at a particular case that there was a guy who was charged late last year. Um, he this particular person garnered a pretty good following on Twitter or X and convinced people to vote by text. So
Mm.
effectively neutralizing those votes because you can't vote by text. So if we could identify those in the space, I think Bree, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but reporting those to the local administrators and then countering that narrative with the right information. And so I think, this is my second question to Bree is the how do we encourage the local and state folks to identify this and refine their messaging to get the right information out to voters?
So obviously, each state has their different methodologies. I can't speak to every single state. From the ones I work with, they really do try, at least the ones I have worked with, really do try hard to be present. They have their own social media handles that are verified on these specific platforms. They remind folks like, hey, for any updates or news or anything regarding the election, please look at insert their username. Don't look at anyone else. And that's the other problem they have is a lot of people trying to mimic them and cause that confusion and chaos. And a lot of times also we have they promote people to reach out to them. Specifically, there's some phone numbers you can call, but a lot of times what I see is that they at the handle, whether it be on X or Instagram. I see it a lot more so on X, where they're adding the state level government's username, being like, hey, this polling station looks like it's closed and you guys said it was open at 6 p.m. Or, hey, I was just here and there's people protesting right outside of this location. Or, and that's the other fortunate thing is that you kind of have to ask these folks for an extreme 2 weeks, hey, all that noise that's coming into you, because it could be as simple as obviously there is a problem at a polling station, or there is a concern, a valid concern, or they're reporting an account that is pretending to be them. Or you're gonna have someone just saying, I hate you, you guys are awful, go burn. And they have to go through all that garbage. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's garbage. To find the ones that have legitimate concerns or like there's problems that are happening with their actual voting process. Um, and that's really hard to do because they're getting an influx for those 2 weeks of just whether it be love or hate, and they have to cipher out the actual ones that need to be addressed. But I have seen them take action where they will respond to a thread or respond to an individual on that social media platform, kindly correcting them or showing them, directing them to a site or directing them to somewhere that they could get the actual information from. But usually they won't address it unless this is something that we would do is bring to their attention anything that is gathering traction. So if someone makes a tweet saying polling station closes at 4 when reality it closes at 6, if it has one like, I'm not really going to bring it up to their attention. If it has, I don't even know, 1,000 likes and like let's say like even like hundreds of retweets, then yeah, I'm going to bring that up so they can directly respond to it and be like, hey, that's not true. It's actually open till 6. No worries here, guys. so
Yeah.
so it's hard for
Yeah.
them.